Hey everybody, how is everybody doing? Sorry we weren't on here Monday, but we wanted everybody to enjoy their Memorial Day weekend, or Memorial Day actually.
Yes.
And again, in honor of all of those who have fallen in the armed services, yes. And all of those in honor of who have fallen in the armed services, our hearts and prayers go out to those families. And again, so that is what Memorial Day is all about, is honoring those that have fallen fallen for our country, that has given us the freedoms to do what we do, regardless of what it.
What?
You've got that look of you're staring literally. Go upstairs.
I'm going to.
Okay, then fine. Go upstairs. Anybody on?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay,
I will be
awesome.
soon.
Good. He will be soon.
Okay. Okay, there we go.
So, Athena just shot upstairs. So, I'm getting that dead eye go, like what? Yeah, look. It's like I've done something wrong. Okay. Due to the weekend, Jess and I had a very interesting weekend. We went to Two Rivers Comic-Con this past weekend, and hello, goodbye.
I'll be the same. Hail Hydra.
Yeah, that's what she's doing to me behind the camera. Hydra Ash. I mean, even I don't think the Mjolnir. She zapped everything from me to even get both Mjolnirs. So yeah, I'm screwed either way we go with that look. I mean, see, look at that.
One of these days, I'm going to tie a piano string to that, and then I'm going to go to me Mjolnir and throw it.
I need to send you that. Did I send you that video where you're Captain America doing the?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Would you go and leave us alone, huh? I know. Jess and I went to Two Rivers Comic-Con. They had the cast of the Justice League animated series up there. So,
okay, there was Phil Lamar. Who else?
Hawk Girl, Wonder Woman, Green, Martian Manhunter, who also.
Oh, Carl Lumley.
Yeah, who also played.
Let me see. Charles, I don't think that's right. Anyway.
Yeah, so, and then they had the creators, the artist, well, not artists, because that was Bruce Timm, but one of the artists, but one of the artists and the director and writer, I think is who it was, that did the Justice League. I got an autograph from them. Got to meet Phil Lamar. Phil Lamar, not only did he do Jon Stewart for the Justice League animated series, but he also did one of my other favorite characters, one of Gambit in Wolverine and the X-Men, and he also did Gambit for the game X-Men Destiny, and I actually took the X-Men Destiny game, and that's what he signed for. I got autographed his photo, so that was pretty cool.
I didn't know this, but I found out he does Static Shock.
Yes.
He does everything from teenage boys to white guys to
anime.
He's very prolific.
It's awesome guy. I've met him about 10 years ago at Wizard World 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I was walking around the show floor dressed in my Man of Steel suit. So one of the first few outings that I did as Man of Steel. And he was walking the floor. He was one of the guests up there at Wizard World in St. Louis. And when I ran into him, I was like, hey, can we get a photo? I recognized him, but it was like, dude, can I get a photo with you real quick? And he did one of these, I'm not supposed to do this, but sure. So we got a quick photo together out in the middle of the floor.
Because when I did with Phil Lamar, he was at his booth. He was just getting into the booth, and he was sitting down. And he looked up, and I was dressed in my Justice League Batman. And I went, and he went. Yeah.
So, meeting
Yeah.
Phil was awesome. Then ran into my comic book dad, Rick Burchett. He was there, got to talk to him, and so got some good connection. Got to hang out with him for a little bit, which is awesome, and talk to several other vendors about Heroes for Kids Comic Con.
Mm-hmm.
So floor is, if not completely full, we're talking under 5 spaces left.
Right.
So artists, merchandise vendors, if you're wanting to get in on Heroes for Kids Comic Con, you better send Jess, let Jess know. We are taking, what do they call it? Stand. We are, we are starting a waiting list, just in case somebody backs out. So again, which I love hearing that.
Right.
Because again, we're
it's crunch time.
yeah, it is crunch time. If you want on this show, let us know. We've got awesome guests. It's going to be a blast. So again, it's going to be a blast. So we're going to have some fun with it. Then Sunday, we got up at the butt crack of dawn
Right.
and decided to drive to Memphis for Mid-South Comic-Con. Mid-South Mega Comic-Con is what it was.
Right.
And that was awesome. Got to meet several new artists, new vendors, new writers, and some people that we'd already met before. One of them was Reb Brown,
Right.
and which we're going to be meeting and hanging out with here in a couple weeks. Actually in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, in Metropolis. He is the guest at the Hidden Gems, Novelties and Collectibles down in Metropolis, Illinois for the weekend of the Superman celebration.
Mhm.
So we'll be hanging out with him. And also our good friend, I can say this now because, not too many celebrities walk up to you and go, Lonnie, how are you? And holy crap, Dean Cain will be there. And but yeah, that was just a shocker that I've met Dean Cain once, but I guess I may have conversed with him maybe once or twice over the internet, but through like a post here and there. But him walking up, getting out from behind his table and going, Lonnie, how are you? And I was, holy crap.
He knows you.
Yeah, it was like, wow. So that was pretty cool. Now, I don't know if it's because of, that select few that does Superman that's on social media that does Superman or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, that would be like you walking up to somebody that cosplay, that does Batman all the time, and, you follow them, they follow you. Hey, Dennis, I don't know if that's what that was, but to me, that was pretty cool.
Right.
And
Hey,
then-
Jody.
Hey, Jody, how's it going? But then getting to see Sean Patrick Flannery,
Mhm.
Boondock Saints, and he could not confirm nor deny, but there is a third movie, but possibly a third movie coming out,
Okay.
which is awesome. If you haven't seen them, watch the Boondock Saints. There's good. Also, he starred in Young Indiana Jones, the TV series. So,
Right.
but no, awesome guys. Got to meet Creek Wilson, who played the boat captain in the Disney's remake of Haunted Mansion. So that was so got to meet him. Jeremy Clark and Jonathan McDaniels. It was an awesome show down there. I hung out with cosplay / deputy friend, Michael Nightmage Wilson.
Mhm.
So he signed the Superman Darkseid Battle for Metropolis posters.
Right.
So those are signed not only by Nightmage, but he is also signed. But I also
have to ask this question. I saw the pictures.
Uh-huh.
What character was he doing?
Zartan.
Oh, okay.
So Zatanna's father.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would explain the top hat.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes. So that was pretty cool. He was Hercules the day before.
Okay.
So yeah, but both those shows. We didn't get to see him as Hercules, but it was cool getting to hang out with him for a while. So, but yeah, that was because the last time we got to hang out with was heck.
It would have been cool if he'd have been dark side that day.
Yeah. Well, apparently I got him into trouble with Dean Cain. Because I turned around, because I presented Dean Cain with one of the photos. I gave Dean Cain one of the posters signed by. I mean, you got to give Superman, give it. So it was funny. You have Clark Kent and then Superman. And then it was like, the running joke was, hey, look, see, we are two different people. But, so when we, and Mike and I both went and presented him the poster.
Right.
Which was cool because Mike's the dark side in the photo. So that was pretty cool.
Exactly.
And it was signed, we both signed it and gave it to him. And I turned around and they're supposed to be at another con together in like a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if it's like right before Metropolis or right after Metropolis.
Okay.
But he turned around, Night Mage has already got his costumes lined up for the shows that he does, that he's doing here within the next couple weeks. He looks at me, he goes, dang it. He goes, now I think I'm going to have to change my costume just for that one, at least one day for that show.
Right.
So, because he's doing it with Dean Cain.
Right.
So now it's one of those things. Now, yeah. So Dean Cain's going to bust out the Superman when he turns out, if he comes in his dark side. So
Right.
yeah, that was cool. We had a blast. And again, Dean Cain will be down at the Superman celebration the week in 2 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I'm sorry, 3 weeks. Not this weekend or next week, the weekend after.
Is he going to be at Hidden Gems?
No, Dean Cain is actually one of the main guests for Metropolis Superman celebration.
All right.
So I'm going to see what I can't do about possibly trying to get over there and at least say hi to him if I can. But no, we had an awesome time this past weekend. Well, a lot of driving. I think total driving was about 10 hours worth of driving altogether.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you got to figure 2 hours, roughly about an hour and a half to 2 hours to St. Charles.
Right.
And in back.
That's true.
So, no, hour and a half. That was about roughly 4 hours travel to St. Charles. And in the little over 3 hours, I think it is, to Memphis and in back. So you're looking at about a little over 6.
God.
So, and on the way back from Memphis, so Sundays, the shows are usually a little slower.
Mm-hmm.
So we saw everything, got to meet everybody that we wanted to see in Memphis.
Not as long lines and all that stuff.
Yeah. So we were able to get out of there a little sooner. And on top of that, bad weather was hitting down there.
Oh, really?
We had we were inside during the first batch of storms that came through, but then it cleared up. And I was like, okay, number one, I'm getting hungry, and so was Jess, Dave, Don, and Ronnie. Mm-hmm. So we were all getting hungry. So I was like, okay, I know where we're going. So I've already got it already picked out where we're going to dinner. And that was Wahlburgers down at the Pyramid Bass Pro Shop.
Okay, yeah.
Dave had never been to Bass Pro Shop.
Never.
With as big of gun enthusiast and all that other kind of stuff as he is, he's never been to a Bass Pro.
I'm surprised.
So we go to one of the biggest Bass Pro shops in the world. It's like the top 10 biggest Bass Pros.
Right.
So we come walking in, and it's like, oh, when he walks in the door.
I am in Mecca.
Yeah.
I love you, prison.
So I was like, okay. He's like, where's the guns? And I'm like, we'll get that after dinner. Let's go to dinner first. So we hit Wahlburgers. We have lunch, and then we go, oh my God, I was stuffed.
Mm-hmm.
I had their Fiesta Melt. I had their chili, and then some sweet potato tots.
Mm-hmm.
That was my food. Oh my God, delicious. Once we got done eating, we walked around that way. We could let food settle before the drive home.
Yeah.
So we walk around. They've got 3 gator. They got a gator pit in there with 3 gators in it. So that was pretty cool getting to see that and some of the huge fish that they've got in there.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a hotel in it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually stay in the hotel there at the Memphis Bass Pro,
Mm-hmm.
and then basically valet your car to a secured parking lot, leave it there all weekend, and they will shuttle you, like, I think it's anywhere from 5 to 10 miles out from the pyramid. So you're catching pretty much anything downtown Memphis. Graceland and all that, all
Beale
within
Street,
Beale Street and all that, right there from. So it's a neat thing. Jess and I are looking at possibly doing it.
Mhm.
We're just trying to figure out the logistics of it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it would be cool. I mean, again, park your car and have somebody travel. You just travel wherever you need to go. They
Right.
take you wherever you want to go. So I mean, which is cool. Restaurants and all that. And I mean, hell, they have anything. Excuse me. You could stay right there at the Bass Pro. Not only shop, you have Wahlburgers to eat, at least lunch and dinner, but they've got a bowling alley, and some of their suites, are gorgeous.
Mhm.
So that's in the Bass Pro Shop.
Right.
And you don't have that fishy smell because they've got the ponds and the aquariums and all that. So it's relaxing, other than the noise. Now, so far as I know, they've got noise dampeners in the rooms, but I mean, you got to figure it's once the doors open, you got mass floods of people. I mean, they're massive people in there.
So is it one of those deals where when you come out of the room, you walk over to
You can
this
look-
rail and look down,
And see the see everybody.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you see the whole floor. It's huge. Check it out. Look at some of the photos. But no, we got out of there just in time. Oh, and they've got this huge elevator that goes all the way to the top of the pyramid.
Mhm.
And I've got an observation deck up there that you can go
right
out.
at the point.
That you can go out just below the point.
Mhm.
But you can go out and stand there and pretty much see.
The whole city
I mean,
and
it
everything.
is. It's pretty awesome over there.
Mhm.
I haven't done it yet. I want to do it, but a little iffy about elevators, but
Mhm.
not claustrophobic. I just don't like elevators. Well, everybody's claustrophobic to an extent, but
So do you like Brandon Ramsey?
yeah.
Right up through there.
And then on the way back, got scary. 100%.
Why did it get scary? Weather.
Yeah. The second round of storms come in.
Mm-hmm.
And you're familiar with the Memphis. Well, you went to Memphis with us that one day and saw
Right.
where the pyramid was in the
Right.
one center.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that little turnpike right there that you get to get up onto the bridge,
Mm-hmm.
we made it back to the vehicles just in time before it started. I mean, coming down pretty good rain. By the time we got out of Bass Pro, made it around the loop and up onto the bridge to go across into Arkansas,
Mm-hmm.
it was whiteout conditions.
Oh my God.
We couldn't see we couldn't see 5 foot in front of the truck. And there were still cars going blaring past us. And again, whiteout conditions for a good 45 minutes.
So in other words, they were driving like retards.
Oh yeah. I mean, we were driving, Jess was maybe driving 35 miles an hour.
I'm surprised you guys didn't get rear-ended.
We're lucky we did. We're lucky. About more than halfway through Arkansas was whiteout conditions because it was raining that bad. And I mean, yeah, I'm surprised we didn't get into an accident. So I mean, thank God there was an angel on our shoulder surrounding us in some way, shape, or form. Not only us, but Dave, Don, and Ronnie.
Whiteout rain. Jessica says whiteout rain.
Yeah, whiteout rain. I mean, it was unbelievable. But no, and then Monday took Tessa down to for Memorial Day. Pretty much stayed home except for early in the morning. We took Tessa down to Kate to Hobby Lobby, and she got paint for her.
They were open on
Cosplay.
Memorial Day.
Yeah. A massive sale, but lo and behold, the paint that Tessa got wasn't on sale. Go figure.
Surprise.
Yeah, but got the paint she needed so she could paint the her big gun that she's doing for her cosplay, for Jinx, whatever. So she painted it. She's got a little bit more painting to do on it, like a couple more coats to make it fully there. But other than that, that was mine and Jess's weekend. I mean, so sounds like you had pretty much a slow.
Yeah, it was slow and mellow. I got a lot of stuff done on Saturday morning, but she's like, I'm overly cautious driver.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, but yeah, I did a lot of projects at home, and yeah. Anyway,
What's up, dude?
so on Monday, I thought, well, I should suit up as Cap like I usually do and go to
Yeah.
Memorial Day service. But then I was like, nah, I'll just go as myself.
Yeah, because we usually partner up and do it as
Right.
Superman and Cap.
Right. But you weren't there, so
You should have
It was just-
hollered. I would have died.
actually, so I got there and I got chewed out. Guy come up to me and he was like, "Where's Captain America? You're supposed to have Captain America." Sorry, dude, didn't put it on. He was like, "Oh boy." He turned around and walked off. I was like, "Well, crap."
Yeah.
The one year I decided not to do it, and that's when everybody went. That, strangely enough, the weather was pleasant, nice
Yeah.
breeze blowing, sunshiny day. There was hardly anybody there. There was more people in the parade than there was
Yeah.
on the lawn. And it was
Now, did you? Oh, was that the lawn at Center Town? Did you go out to the wall with Annie?
No, I didn't go
No.
into the wall at all. I was going to, but then other things came up with Mom and Dad. My sister had come down for the weekend
Oh, okay.
and stuff, so I ended up staying home and just doing family stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm about ready to suit up again. Eventually.
Not this weekend. Next weekend. Are you coming up for next weekend? St. Charles, the 7th, or is that a Darren weekend?
That's the Darren weekend.
That's the Darren
That's
weekend.
so I can go to Metropolis.
Okay. Well, now getting to our schedule now.
Hello, Wyatt.
Hey, White. Getting to our schedule now. June 6th. Oh, son gun.
Mhm.
Oh, excuse me. June 7th. I think I said 6 years a minute ago before I belched.
Yeah.
June 7th, we will be in St. Charles at Paw Fest. We could have Jess put some maybe some info on about Paw Fest on here or and on our webpage. That way people know where we're going this
Right.
weekend. And then Sunday, depending on how she feels or how both of us feels, we may try shooting down to Nashville for a show on Sunday. I don't know yet. We're still thinking about it, and it depends on the money situation. And again, Nashville is about that,
5 hours.
about a 5 hour, but it's still within that con range.
Right. Yeah.
So we may try running down there to do some networking. I don't know it because the following weekend
Mm-hmm.
we will be at Metropolis for the open to everybody, the Super Bowl on Thursday nights.
Mm-hmm.
I think it starts at like 7 o'clock in the evening and runs till pretty much they kick us out.
Right.
I mean, I don't think they've ever really closed it down. It's just when everybody starts getting a little tired and drunk and
Yeah.
everybody starts stumbling out of the place to their hotels.
And the Super Friends are getting older as we
Yes,
speak.
yes.
We see
other
the
than-
same faces I've seen there for the past 15, 16 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're getting old, guys.
yeah.
Right
So, I mean, I'm losing my hair. I've got to paint my bald spot just to do Superman anymore. Now, I am looking at the little roller, the little, not a toupee, but the hair pieces. And I
So
know
it's
it's
that Jewish little beanie hat, but
No,
with,
no.
with hair.
yeah, almost like yeah, but
What do they call it? Mamuka or what?
yarmulke.
Yarmulke.
Yeah, yarmulke with hair. No.
Whatever it is.
But no, they've got. I've been doing the research, but they've got the hair pieces that you got the glue and stuff, and you can put them. What you do is where it's thinning out, where you come up just a little bit higher on the head or whatever, you cut a lot of the space out, and then basically put this adhesive on there, and roll the piece on. I did some research on it, trust me. Because trust me, painting my hair every time I do Superman, it gets annoying.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. I mean, to the point the adhesive is good enough to where you can actually grab a hold of the hair. I mean, and take it and do a few good yanks on the thing before it goes.
And then you scream bloody murder. And
because it rips out half my scalp. Yeah. So I'm looking into that. Granted, it's several $100s to get those because it's like real hair. It's got that real hair texture and it blends in. What I've seen on it, it looks like it blends in real well. So it's something I'm looking into.
Eventually, you're going to be relegated to the Kingdom Come Superman. That's all there is to it.
I am still going to have to do the hairpiece looking thing, possibly. I mean, if anything, if I can find a full wig that I can put on a mannequin to where it may go shorter than what I usually do, and we may get to see me every once in a while, maybe donning a different, maybe a anti-hero, more villain character to chase you around and fight.
Okay.
With a few extra weapons and on the Batman side, so.
I can tell when I get really, really old, like 70s and 80s, I'll probably be doing stuff like Alfred or
you still got ways. You still got old man Wayne, but then we got to find a Terry McGinnis to walk around with.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I have options.
Yes, you still got options. So do I, but if the hair keeps going the way it's going, I'm going to have.
You're going to be more Lex Luthor.
I am. I'm going to be suiting it up. I'm going to be getting the big mechanical suit. Now Luthor does a Superman version of his mechanical suit.
Right.
So so if this does have to go, it may be the mechanical Superman Luthor. I don't know. I'm just as like the hell you're shaving your head. So,
hi, Thad.
Hey. But yeah, so Metropolis is the 13th, 14th, and 15th. That's the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. For the Superman, for the Super Friends, where they usually try sticking around Monday and have the Boo-Hoo breakfast. Actually, I don't think.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think the last couple of years there hasn't been a lot of people that stuck around for the Boo-Hoo breakfast and just left out on that Sunday.
Yeah.
I know last year there wasn't a lot of people on
usually
the Sunday.
Boo-Hoo breakfast only has maybe like 5 or 6 people.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a lot.
Yeah.
Everybody else is leaving out
on the Sunday.
And maybe they'll rest up on Monday before they go back to work on Tuesday.
Yeah. But no, it's always a fun weekend for Metropolis. It is again, Super Bowl starts on.
Jessica's sending us faces.
Jessica sent me an alien face. I don't.
Or like a devil face or something.
A purple devil face.
Purple devil face.
Well, hey, at least they ain't a one-eyed, one-horned flying purple people eater.
That's true.
Yeah, but we're looking at but trying to go down every day. I would love to. Now, if you can make it down, this is part that's going to hurt, because if I can get down there on the 14th, I'm going to try my damnedest to get down there on the 14th. Are you working that weekend?
The 14th?
The third. Are you working that week? The 13th, 14th, 15th.
I'm off the week before our show.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you were going to be off that Friday, because the reason why I'm asking, Jess has got to work. She wasn't able to get off. And I don't know if I can get down there. They're doing the memorial for Jim Hambrick, the curator of the Superman Museum, that Friday morning.
Friday morning.
They're doing it Friday morning. I thought they were doing it on a Saturday, that which would have been awesome, but
Right.
apparently I don't know the reasons why, but they're doing it on that Friday. They're doing it Friday morning, and unfortunately, I don't think I can make it down there unless I can find somebody to take me down there, and then basically wait until Jess gets off work. She comes down there and picks me up.
Right. I mean, if I took you down there, I'd have to leave Friday afternoon to go get Darren and take him to
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. So I mean, it's Friday, early Friday morning,
And
like 9 o'clock Friday morning, I think is when it is. So yeah, it's like early in the morning. So
okay, so what are the plans around 4th of July? Because that's what
4th of July. Well, whenever they decide to do the fireworks for the city of Perryville,
right.
we'll be setting up at the Park Center with Heroes for Kids. More than likely,
It's going to be on the
doing
3rd.
doing a sale on Comic-Con tickets.
Right.
And we will also be doing a big promo push for the Comic-Con, which will be a couple weeks after that, because we will be at the following, within 2 weeks of that, we will be at the Heroes for Kids Comic-Con. So
Okay. So it probably will be on July 3rd because the Friday is the 4th.
Friday's the 4th.
They may have it on the 3rd.
They may have it on the Friday the 4th. So I don't know. Well, and regardless, we will be there whenever they decide to do the fireworks for with Heroes for Kids.
Now, that's going to be my Darren weekend. So
Okay.
I may have to talk to mom and dad and see if they can watch him for a few hours while we take care of that.
Okay. Sounds good.
We can
Well,
work that.
and you usually do Captain America at
Yeah.
that show.
Yeah.
So Jody, if you want to come up as and sweat it to the Batman oldies as as one
You
of
make
the
it
Batmans.
sound so.
I
You make
know.
it sound so appealing. You know? Yeah.
Oh, hey, in the costumes that I wear, I sweat my butt off too.
Right.
Just because I wear the spandex, trust me, that stuff's not as breathable as what you think. So, so we will be out at 4th of July.
That's why when you're walking down the street of Metropolis, down Market Street, and you get to that one intersection there,
That has that good breeze. You just stand there for a minute.
and you look so dramatic when
Yeah.
the cape's flowing.
Everybody's going, and everybody crowds around you.
and you're
for
like, I'm
pictures.
not moving anywhere because it's nice and quick here.
Yes. But Paw Fest on June 7th up in St. Charles. Jess will put information out on the chat and on our page. That way everybody knows what's going on there. That will be more than likely either get dressed in the parking lot or come suited up. One of the two. If we have something for a changing room or something like that, Jess will let you know for that when we get a hold of them.
Wyatt
Yes.
just said that July 19th and 20th, he's debuting his Penguin.
Ah, cool.
I can't wait to see it.
I can't either.
I think he's going to nail it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just
he did Polka Dot Man and just I was like, damn.
his Polka Dot Man was outstanding. Your Logan was outstanding. Any
Yeah.
costume I've seen you come out in.
Yeah.
So I could just imagine
I
what
mean,
you do.
I mean, he did his Punisher, and I was like, that is the costume, man.
Yeah,
He's
it was.
that-
Punisher.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, he goes out there and he just puts his heart and soul into it and just
Love
nails
it. Yes.
So with Penguin, yeah, he's gonna nail it.
Yeah.
I know he's gonna nail it. That kid was born to play.
Yeah.
that role.
So definitely look forward to seeing you as the Penguin.
Yes.
So this June 7th coming up in not this weekend but next weekend is Paw Fest.
Mhm.
Then you have the Superman celebration, the 13th through the 15th. Then on June 28th, Heroes for Kids members, get with me. We have a private event in Mount Vernon, Illinois.
Okay.
So come out and Jess will be doing a shout out to that a little bit closer, probably after Superman celebration.
Mhm.
Actually, Jess may go ahead and put something out for that now. It is an awesome event to go up there
Get with Jess on that. The 29th, June 29th, Heroes for Kids. Get ready. Let me know who's coming up. We also have the Shriners Toy Show up in St. Louis. We don't have a booth that I'm aware of. No, actually, I think we do have a booth, but it's more meet and greet style is what we're going to do. We have a booth. It'll be at the Shriners Toy Show in St. Louis. So let me know what characters we will be there. For those that don't know, this one here's besides Heroes for Kids Comic-Con, if there's something Shriner-wise, definitely Shriners. I hold Shriners near and dear to my heart. I'm a Shriners kid, so that one it's a big one for me. So definitely let's do that one as well. Let's have a blast at that one. Then July 4th, around the July 4th holiday, we will be doing fireworks with Perryville here in Perryville to help promote Heroes for Kids Comic-Con. So be ready for that. We're just waiting on the date to find out when they're actually doing the fireworks, so be on the lookout for that date. Ooh, excuse me. Then on July 10th, 11th, 12th, and possibly the 13th, but the 13th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, we will be at Marcus Theater for the premiere and showing of Superman, the movie. So looking forward to that. I have my corn sweatsuit, so I will be debuting that at the theater in Cape.
Thank God for air conditioning.
Yes, times will be to determine. Again, no duplicates on this one. DC Comics, DC characters only. So we'll be putting shout outs. Jody, get with Dennis on what day, if you want to do Batman, get with Dennis on what days Dennis can come down on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And if you want, and here's the thing.
Show times and stuff.
Right. And if you want to do your Green Lantern and let Jody do Batman maybe, and flip up maybe at one show too.
Right.
You can do that
or
as
if
well.
I've got my Aquaman, I could dress as that.
Yeah. Just like I said, that way get a little bit of a break. That way it'll give you a little bit of a break. That way you can do, because I know Green Lantern's in a movie. We know Hawk Girl's in it. We know.
I mean, that's something to kick around.
Yeah. So Jody, get a hold of Dennis and see what days you want to. Same way with Tristan. Tristan, same thing. If Dennis and Jody can't make it to the show as Batman, Tristan, let us know and get you three hash out dates on what's going on. That's so I think that would be cool. That way, maybe we can get all three Batmans down there and everybody can switch up. But Dennis, you've got first call on the Batman days. Okay. So, and then we have Toyman on 7/13. So we'll be up there doing our last big push in the St. Louis area for Heroes for Kids Comic-Con at Toyman up in Bridgeton. So that's going to be a fun Sunday. And that is from 10 to 2. And then if I've got time by the time we get back home, I'm looking at, if I've got time on that Sunday, we're going to try to make it to Kate Movie Theater. And Jess is probably going to slap me for this one. But we're going to try making it down for at least one, maybe 2 hours down in Cape with Superman down there for it on that Sunday. Dude, I haven't seen the popcorn buckets, but the popcorn buckets I heard look awesome. And yes, I'm getting a popcorn bucket, the cup, and I think there's even a plushie that's coming out at the Cape Theater. I'm getting all three. Okay. Anything that they've got down there for the new Superman movie, I'm getting it. So, so that's going to be awesome.
And debuting your new suit.
And debuting the new suit. And then the following weekend, July 18th, 19th, and 20th. July 18th is Heroes for Kids Comic-Con setup. So anybody that's got a booth please come in. If you want to set up early, that's great. We'll have everything set. We'll be setting up, I think,
How about 2 to
2-ish. I think it's like
7?
2 to 7, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Is when vendors come in. I think is what we have our contract as for them on that Friday. And then then the doors open at 7, from 7 to 9 on the 19th for vendors. Will be set up times. All vendors, please be set up and ready to go at 9 o'clock. When those VIPs come walking in the door, they get the same experience as what somebody gets when they walk in at 9 o'clock or at 10 o'clock. So again, all the merchandise, so all you merchandise vendors and artists and writers, have your stuff ready to go by 9 o'clock on that Saturday, on the 19th. The show runs from 10 to 5 or 9 to 5. VIPs come in at 9. Shows the main floor opens for everybody at 10 and runs till 5 o'clock. And then Sunday, it opens at 11:30 and runs until 5 o'clock. So again, 2 days of awesome fun. We're working on the schedule of events. So panels, Lego building contest. I think may even do some, I think there might be an artist panel. We're going to have some fun. Right. Gaming, D&D, loads of costume contest.
Hi, Chris.
Awesome, Chris.
Sorry.
Ryder, hey, what's up? So it's going to be a blast. So please come on out. Let's have some fun. Again, and that is July 19th and 20th at the Perry Park Center. Let's get talking about the Comic-Con. We've got more stuff on this than what we've had in a long time. We got everything updated. And let's go. July 19th and 20th, Heroes for Kids Comic-Con. Brought to you by Heroes for Kids and Villainous Grounds, with all your coffee roasting, coffee, comics, books, and more. So our 2 recipients are
The Dorn Foundation and the Perry County Community Task Force.
Click on the links. Our special guest, which is awesome. We have the awesome and talented second generation animation artist for Disney and anything else that you got out to Filmation, movies. The awesome, the talented Philo Barnhart did everything from Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Rescuers Down Under, Star Trek the Motion Picture, worked on Scooby-Doo, which leads us into our next person.
Yes. Who is Scott Innes. He's Poplar Bluff resident.
Yes, he is.
Yes. So he
lives in Baton Rouge.
Now lives in Baton Rouge, and he's a prolific voice actor in everything from cartoons to video games. You name it, he's probably done it. If it's Hanna-Barbera,
Pretty much, yeah.
He's pretty much
best
the voice
known
of
for
Hanna-Barbera.
Scooby-Doo.
Yes,
but
he's done Shaggy. He's done Scrappy Doo. He's done Elroy and Astro and
Captain Caveman.
Captain Caveman. Yeah,
Foghorn Leghorn. Popeye.
Yeah, Quick Draw McGraw.
Yeah. So, and he was also in the movie Iron Claw, which is basically a movie about the the legendary wrestling family, the Von Erichs, which leads us into our third guest, which is Jerry the King Lawler.
Yes.
Multiple. Everybody knows him as most people know him as the commentator that sat next to Jim Ross for all those years during the major part of a lot of us adults era of wrestling. But WWE Hall of Fame has won numerous world champions, and hence the reason why he is called the King. Again, to me, he's the king of Memphis wrestling. He's the king of
Right.
Mid-South Wrestling.
Right.
So, again, and he was also in the biopic that starred Jim Carrey, that
Man on the Moon.
The Man on the Moon. So come on out. Again, awesome lineup. So it's going to be fun. I've been good friends with actually all three of them for quite a while. They're awesome people to talk to. Awesome. Jerry the King Lawler is also an artist himself. So maybe you can try getting a sketch out of him this weekend or that weekend that he's out there. So that would be awesome as well.
Hello, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel, how's it going? The venue is at 800 City Park Drive, Perryville, Missouri. So, the Red Dot.
Yes.
Villainous Cafe will have some delicious treats coming soon. And if anybody wants to sponsor, click on and download the form, fill it out. And as you see, get to some of our sponsors real quick. And again, I graciously want to thank all of our sponsors from the surrounding, from not only Perryville, but our surrounding areas. We have Robinson Outdoor,
Mm-hmm.
the Republic Monitor here in Perry County, since serving Perry County, holy crap, since 1880.
Yes.
So that is awesome. The city of Perryville. So one of River City, the River City Center LLC, SEMO Patriot Guard Riders, Rusted Route Farms. Son of a gun, say that one fast time.
Mm-hmm.
Foam Forgeries, Living with a Purpose, and Heroes Complex. Bear Engineering, Super Museum, which we will see them here in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shoot. It just shut off on me. Rowley Brothers Trucking, Robinson Companies, Benning Ford, Perryville, TG Missouri, St. Paul Lutheran Church, Marcus Theater, which we will be at here on July 7th, or July 10th, 11th, and 12th. SEMO University Foundation. Check out some of our photos of not superhero, but Star Wars Day, with the SEMO Redhawks fall team.
Yeah. Mm.
Dane Good Grooming, Frank and Bridget's Produce, and All Creatures Veterinarian Clinic. So I want to thank all of our sponsors for donating. Again, after expenses are paid, 100% of the proceeds goes to the Captain Doran Foundation and the Perry County Community Task Force. I'm going to let you do the vendors.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom. We've got, and which is a lot more than what I just did.
Right. Okay. We've got.
Okay, let's start with our artists.
Yes. So let's start with art by Autumn Zabo, Chris Ebert, Bob Hamby. Hey, you know this one. That's Tessa
My daughter,
Johnson.
Tessa Johnson, yes.
Okay. Poetics Paintings, Fantasy Realms, Red Banana Art, and Build a Stick. Then we've got some authors that are going to be there, like Richard Beauchamp, Todd Black, Books and Crafts by Justice, Morgan Strong Tomnick, Golden Hollow, Weston Kincaid, local Ellie Mack, and Diana Morgan. Now, as for the general vendors,
You want me to help with this one? You do a line, I'll do a line.
okay.
That doesn't.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, we got AJ's Comic Cards and Collectibles, The Bone Cave, Boot Hill Bat Fam, and Chelsea Quinn Cosplay.
We got Colonel Ambush Handmade Jewelry, Critical Crafters, Crystal Lizard, and Custom Wreaths by Bev.
Yeah. And then we've got Duncan's Laser Engraving. I almost said Loser Engraving. Laser Engraving.
And he's local.
Yeah, he's local. Extreme Econ. Foam Forgeries. We know those guys. Gotham City Comics and Collectibles. We know those guys too.
You have yours truly, Heroes for Kids, Infinity Comics, J&N 3D Printing, and Just like our fan fictions.
Just like it says there.
Yes.
Okay. And then we've got Leisure Time Treasures, Little Black Cat Company, Locals, Marcus Theaters from Cape Girardeau.
We have Quilting Mother CR Printing. They've got some awesome like D&D and board gaming towers and stuff like that. Raymond Santa Parker Funko Pops. Oh my God! I already know I'm losing a lot.
I've
I've
got to
got
lose money on that deal.
we met him. We ran into him in St. Charles.
Mm-hmm.
And he already turned around and looked at me. He goes, I've got this one for you, this one for you, this one for you, this one for you, this one for you. And I'm sitting here and Jess is just looking at me and her eyes are getting that evil stare like
She's giving you the stink eye.
Exactly.
Yeah.
St. Louis Brick Fanatics, your deliciously and comic book need villainous grounds. And then we have Brad and Lisa Worrell. So again, awesome show. Look forward to seeing everybody there.
Mm-hmm.
Again, ticket prices, we'll get into those real quick. You can buy them online. Please click the link below. Again, get them online. There is a little bit of a service charge, but you can get them online. Weekend passes, general admission, $10 for both days. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I was paying this weekend at two shows, Two Rivers Comic Con and Memphis MegaCon, $20 a pop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
10 for the
doing
whole
10 for the whole 10 for the whole weekend.
You can't beat that.
Saturday general admission, $7.
That's
Sunday general admission, $6.
Right.
Okay. Early bird weekend passes. $25 for the whole weekend, and it also gets you this cool stuff.
Right. Which is the souvenir cup with the drink at the cafe, the VIP badge, early entry at 9:00 to visit with folks, and a limited edition print for our company.
I've seen the print. I've seen the print without all of our stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it looks awesome. I want to thank Bob Hamby for doing the print. As soon as it gets edited and all that other kind of stuff, you'll get a sneak peek of it. So it's because we got to put our logos and stuff on it. But no, it looks awesome. And
we'll still be taking
individual sponsorships. So again, any sponsorships, again, all money goes to the Dorn Foundation and the Perry County Community Task Force. So again,
and you're not just limited to these two outfits. If you want to go larger, you can. And all you got to do is contact Jessica directly,
or click on the link, and it'll get you to no, that's Heroes for Kids Perryville Mo.
Yeah, you can contact her through that.
Yep. That's our Gmail account. We did change it. We had unfortunately we had to change our email account, so it is hfkperryvillemo@gmail.com. So that is our now one cool thing is that I love about this. Actually, there's two things that I love about this. Is number one, our volunteers. You and in us, as in Heroes for Kids, like you, Jess, and myself, we don't make a dime off of this.
No.
We don't. So every year that you see us doing this show, we start from scratch.
Right.
And, and it's all from donations, table vendor buying into the show for table vendors and stuff like that. That is what and then us doing the cons and raising the money by selling the artwork and the merchandise that we sell at our table. All of that goes to put this on.
And we do have to give our props to Jessica Johnson, your wife, and to
Mary Jo.
Mary Jo
Bamel. Yeah, they are
the driving force behind this.
But
without them, this probably would be a lot.
Yeah.
Lamer.
This is all this. The website, all the website. That is 100% Mary Jo.
Right.
We get Jess. We do the talking. Jess gets a hold. Jess sends out the emails to the vendors.
Right.
It's a team effort between. Again, when I say when we talk about Villainous Grounds, and Villainous Grounds doesn't make anything off of this either.
No.
Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, a majority of the proceeds that goes to, well, if I'm not mistaken, let me kick back here to the homepage.
Mm-hmm.
Here, this will tell you a little bit about Villainous Grounds closes. Give me a second.
Connection to this.
Yeah, it's wanting to be a pain in the butt.
Yeah, there you
Okay, so 2. Well, there's Villainous Grounds' website. Okay, I'm gonna go right here. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down here to the Villainous Grounds.
Yeah.
Okay, because if I'm not mistaken, right here. Okay, profits from the cafe go directly to the total of the event.
go. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they don't make any money.
So,
So,
again, they closed down Villainous Grounds' coffee shop here in town, and they do 100% of everything Saturday and Sunday at the store or at the con.
Right.
Of the food and coffee. It's a limited coffee drink list, but again, but again, if not for Villainous Grounds and not for Jess doing the stuff behind the scenes, this would not be possible. So
Right.
kudos to them. Our hearts go to them 100% because, they are the driving force to making sure that Dennis and I and all of you that volunteer with us that get the word out, those
Right.
2 ladies are the reasons why we're able to get the information out.
They
to
are
you
the
guys.
wind beneath our wings. They
Yeah.
allow us to shine and draw people in and do all that stuff. Also, thank you to Robert Cox for adding the logos and the other
Yeah.
small edits that he's
just-
done. Just good.
Yes, definitely. Robert has done stuff. Robert at the newspaper, he's done a lot for us as well.
Yes, he has.
So thank you a lot to Robert as well. But no, it's I don't know how to put it. Number one, thank you. We don't make a dime off of the show. This is something that we can do for our community and our surrounding community.
Right.
Again, it's a big charity event that we get to host. And I want to thank and a shout out, even though he has not come down to Perryville and done the con yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working on that. Rick Merchant.
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago, we started this thing out with 2 canopies, a fire truck, 2 squad cars, and some baskets to sell on a table, and about 9 characters in costume.
Right.
In front of Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're 10 years in
Mm-hmm.
and hosting a 2-day Comic-Con. And I want to say this, and thank you to all of our volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to everybody that's donated money.
Mm-hmm.
Donated to Heroes for Kids. Well, not just money, but the artists, the actors, the writers, the crafters, anybody that has ever donated something to Heroes for Kids. Thank you from the bottom, whether it be time, money, supplies, whatever. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because with you guys, with everybody collectively, in the 10 years that we have been running Heroes for Kids, we have raised over $50,000.
Yes.
How awesome is that?
That is awesome. And there is a little side benefit that we don't really talk much about, but is there, and that's that this allows the people of the community to meet the real life heroes, our firefighters, our cops, our sheriff's deputies, our ambulance workers,
Our hospital personnel, even some of our teachers.
Yes,
Our teachers that want to get
teachers and stuff.
involved. And
and we also are helping budding artists to kind of get a feel for entering the field. And so there's all sorts of little benefits other than donating to
Right. And one big thing I would like to put out there is, again, with this being a charity event, okay, to all of you vendors, look in your packets, because there will be a little form in there that will be signed by the directors. And it is a tax form, because with you putting in for your booth, with you paying for your booth, that is a charitable donation.
Yes.
To Heroes for Kids. Heroes for Kids is a 501c3 charity organization, so we are tax deductible. So be on the lookout for, and if you don't get one, get a hold of Jess. But Jess we will make sure everybody gets one of those at the show, because it'll be in your packet that we give you at the door when you come in. So I know Jess is ready to kick my butt, because dang it, now I got to get on the computer and type a bunch of stuff out. We've got it. All we got to do is plug and play on names and stuff, and it's done.
Yeah.
Again, so guys, for all of our vendors, you make your money back already before you even walk in the door. You've made your money back on your table before you've even walked in the door.
Yeah.
So make sure you file that with your taxes, with your tax person, because again, with us being a 501c3, it is a tax deductible commodity. So definitely look forward to seeing. Oh, son, shut the thing off. Look forward to seeing everybody at Heroes for Kids Comic-Con. And that takes us to June and July.
Right.
So all those events on June and July is, almost every weekend.
Right.
We've got some special event that we're trying to do.
And we will get back on a regular schedule, hopefully on Mondays of doing.
I don't know. With the Mondays, I like, Mondays are good, but I do like changing it up every once in a while.
Right.
Because there's been a couple days that we've had, almost 10 to 15. Mondays, I don't know if we get caught in other people's lives, because a lot of people do stuff over the weekend too. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if we want to start doing them, but I like doing them. I don't know. It's a toss-up. Do we do them at the end of the week to where we can really promote, or before the end of the week to where we can promote the shows that we're getting ready to go to?
The is that sometimes we have events on a Friday, so we can't really do that either.
So it's a hit and miss.
And there's a lot of holidays that fall on Mondays, like
what happened this week.
Labor Day, and so you
never know. Just keep watching. You never know when we're going to get on here.
Just keep an eye on Facebook, and we'll let you know. Hey, things are going to be mixed up a little bit, and let's face it, sometimes emergency things happen. Sometimes family dramas happen. People end up in the hospital.
I have not put nobody in a hospital this week.
Not this week. No, I'm talking about like what happened with Adrian and stuff. So, or like when my son was in a hospital.
So family stuff happens.
Yeah.
So
Thursday it is, she says.
Huh?
Thursday it is, she says.
Well, it's up to Jess. I don't care. Because we originally used to do this on a Wednesday night. No, it was on a Wednesday night. We originally did these on a Wednesday night.
Right.
And then we got away from a while because life happened.
Well, you had like
I was doing
jiu-jitsu.
I was doing jiu-jitsu.
So
I was
you were
working
like,
out.
Wednesday's not really working for me, so we switched it up.
Yep.
And it just kept getting
jiu-jitsu was Tuesday and Wednesdays, because we originally started our meetings. We originally had our meetings on Tuesdays.
Right.
And then we went to Wednesday. That was the reason why we took it to Wednesday. And then we were doing a live every once in a while. Then we got away from the lives, and then now we're really kicking it back in with the lives.
Right.
So I love it.
But, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like a TV show that always ends up in a different time slot, but it's always
it's always there.
Yeah.
what have you? All right, the state of Missouri. I'm a little aggravated.
Why?
What is the deal with not getting, especially in the southeast Missouri area? What is the deal on not getting any Superman action figures? I have been looking around since they've hit the market
Mhm.
on Superman figures for the new movie.
Well,
And
I can answer that for you.
Kate, none. Perryville, none.
Why?
It's either that or they are walking off the shelf. Target, none. But lo and behold, I get online and I'm seeing all kinds of stuff. Oh, I bought this at Walmart. I bought this at Target. I'm like, I can't get nothing.
You're living the dream. You don't need it.
So Jess is like, definitely, I don't need it. Well, I guess, so I love going to Metropolis. I always get 90% of my Superman stuff that I get, unfortunately.
Get
not unfortunately, but 90% of my Superman stuff I get from the Superman Museum. So it's, yeah.
And every time I go to Metropolis and I end up in Hidden Gems, I always get that Kermit puppet, and they say, you got to make it talk. And so they keep trying to talk me into buying it. One of these days I'm going to break down and just buy that.
Just buy it. I can just see you trying to do ventriloquism on our show with a Kermit puppet.
I could do that.
Oh my God! Don't do that again. But no. So what?
Don't do that again. Anyway, hey,
Robert.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So the preview. If you haven't seen the final movie trailer for Superman, the movie, check it out. It's awesome. They've got a lot of stuff in there. I'm looking forward to it. Again, I don't know. I got to talking to some. I got to talking to the guys Saturday. Alan Burnett and Barnett and
Dan Riba.
Dan Ruba.
Riba.
Okay. There we were talking the new Superman movie.
Right.
And they asked me, they said, what do you think of the new suit? What do you think? Because I'm wearing my traditional classic cartoon suit, the suit that they draw. And they're like, well, what do you think about it? I was like, well, James Gunn did his homework. James Gunn, being a huge comic book fan, he did his homework. Because if you look at it, is a combination of
everything.
Going back to the original TV series.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking Kirk Allen. Okay. And here now, again, open your mind. Think of what we're talking about. And actually, I pointed it out to them, and as they got to looking at it, they're like, "Dude, you're right." Okay. First off, you got the bright, vibrant colors, which is Superman. Which is, you get away from the Henry Cavill, but we'll hold that thought. Even a little bit getting away from the New 52, and we'll hold that thought.
Mm-hmm.
But you're getting to the more Christopher Reeve, the more bright and colored, vibrant colors that we see in the comic books of the early, the traditional Superman. Okay. Now, so you've got that. Number 2, the trunks. Yes, everybody calls it the diaper, or they're slamming it because of the trunks, but you get a touch of the original live action Superman, Kirk Allen. He had the higher trunk with the lower leg on the brief.
Mm-hmm.
So you
almost
get
a pair of shorts.
You get the Kirk Allen-esque trunks.
Right.
So you got a little bit of that old, and even so that Kirk Allen, George Reeve-esque
trunk style, early George Reeve trunks. So that blend right there. So you've got the Kirk Allen, George Reeve-esque with the older trunks. The Christopher Reeve, bright color, vibrant, right?
Mhm.
So there's 3 different eras. Okay. You've got the pointed, you've got the longer, pointed sleeve. Okay.
Which
With a little bit,
52.
which is, and the high collar,
Right, 52.
the 52. Okay. Now we bleed into the other one.
The S.
Cavill. No, I ain't even got to that one.
Oh, okay.
Now we get into the Cavill suit.
Okay.
Okay. The piping, the designs in the suit.
Right.
Not only does it resemble the new 52 suit with the nanotech type suit that he's wearing in the comic book, because it has those lines in it, but the piping, if you look at Corn Sweat suit, it's not nanotech. It's actually the piping almost like what you see in Cavill suit with the piping on his, or the designs on his suit. Okay, and then the texturing of the material. We didn't do texturing on the material until Cavill. It's got the texturing of the suit in this one. So you've got those. Now you've got the old school. Now you're getting into the. Now you've got the logo. Number one, you're bringing back the movie-wise. You're bringing back the logo on the cape.
Right.
Comic book, it just depends on who's drawing it
Right.
and what era you're talking about. But you're bringing back the yellow logo on the cape, and it's solid yellow, not a and maybe a two-toned yellow but it doesn't have the Christopher Reeve black lining in it. It's just a solid yellow, more comic booky
Right.
yellow or color. But and then you have the chest piece, which is the Alex Ross Kingdom Come. So you've got that S logo, which is also on the cape as well. So you've got a blend of a multi-generational suit.
You could even probably say that the boots kind of lend themselves to Dean Cain.
Dean Cain, no, more,
Think so?
no, New 52. Dean Cain had more of the upward, almost the Batman style boot.
Yeah, that's true. I
No.
mean, you didn't have
The boots represent more of the New 52 style. New 52 had that square in it and didn't have the V shape.
Okay, does he have actual soles on the bottom of the shoes? Or is it like Christopher Reeves where
It's a sole. It's more of the Brandon Routh style with the sole.
Okay.
So again, it's got a little bit of every generation of Superman into this one suit. So and again, I've heard this. I don't know if it'll happen, but there is possibly by the time the end of this movie is done, at the end of the movie, we're looking at a new suit. He's going to have his costume change. He's going to have a suit change in the movie.
Okay.
So there is a suit change in the movie. So what we're seeing in the preview may be his year one, because again, this is early days of Clark Kent being in Metropolis.
Right.
Yes, him and Lois, if you look at the trailer, watch the trailer, it's him and Lois. She already knows he's Superman.
Right.
But they're early in their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But he's already told her that he's Superman. But this isn't Superman, and that he already knows there's other heroes, or the world knows about other heroes already,
Right.
or other superpowered beings.
Right.
So again, you're not walking into this going, okay, Superman's the only person.
Right.
So again, Burnett and Ribba,
yeah, Van Ribba.
both agreed with me. It is a multi-generational suit that we're seeing Corn Sweat wear. So I love that in the fact, and I've got the suit upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got the suit upstairs. I look forward to wearing it. It is definitely a cold weather suit. So
Yes.
it is definitely a cold weather suit
Yes.
because that sucker is thick.
And you're going to be wearing it to Metropolis.
And no, I am not. No,
You're not gonna
I
wear it to
am not
Metropolis.
wearing it to
You're going to wear
Metropolis.
it to the movie.
I will be wearing it to the movie premiere, which means I will be inside.
In air conditioning.
Yes, I will be. Metropolis. I will be wearing. I'm hoping, knock on wood, I can get a suit fixed to where I can wear it to Metropolis, and it's being worked on as we hopefully by this week. But other than that, I will be wearing my traditional. I will be wearing more than likely the Fleischer suit one day, and I will more than likely be wearing the traditional red. Superman red and blue for it. So
I
Another day.
will be there because I've got family commitments on other stuff. Saturday, I will be there. I will probably be bringing 2 suits. I will be wearing Cyclops for
a short
part of the day, and then possibly Batman. So, but I'm not going to wear that heavy suit Batman that I got. That's just too much. So,
Right.
So I'm probably just going to have like the Justice League.
Your Justice League
The
suit.
Justice
Okay.
League. Not the live action Justice League, but the cartoon Justice League.
Right. Right.
So that I
So-
will probably be.
And you do awesome with either one of them. So,
So
yeah.
either way, that way, people. I know that there's going to be people there that when I show up as Cyclops, they're going to be,
Oh,
no Batman,
yeah.
and so yeah.
But
so,
no.
and Karis is probably going to show up as Huntress, and I think she's even packing her SpongeBob spirit. So.
No, I'm doing the Max Fleischer suit for one reason. Is that was in honor of Jim Hambrick. I'm wearing that one. That was his favorite suit to ever see me walk around in.
Right.
So I will be wearing that in honor of Jim Hambrick. So that will be worn one day. I'd love to wear it if I can make it down there on that Friday for his memorial. I'd love to wear it that Friday for his memorial, but again, I don't know if I can make it down there.
And what date was that?
That's on the Friday. That is on the, I think it's the 13th.
Of July.
Yes, 13th, 14th, yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, it's the 13th of July. And it's, no, 13th of June.
13th of June.
13th of June.
So it's going to be during the Superman celebration.
Yeah, it's during it's the morning, that's that Friday morning. Yeah, I know. That's, it sucks. I'd love to try getting down there with the Max Fleischer suit, because that was one of Jim's. Huh?
I don't see any.
I don't see any comments other than just saying hi, Robert. I don't see that.
Let me tell y'all while I'm single on this Sunday morning. Long story short, me and you get into it.
How far up?
We're having this debate about men and women and enterprise, blah, blah, blah.
Well,
Oh, okay. That's quite a while back.
yeah.
Okay, let's take a look.
It's during. Okay, hold up. During the opening ceremonies for the Superman celebration, they'll be doing the honoring of Metropolis hero Jim Hambrick, historical marker dedication. So that will be. Yeah, she did it twice. But I believe it's like around 9:00 that morning. What's up? That's what I just said.
I'm pulling up the
So yeah, I wish I could make it down there, but I don't think. It's. But I know that that weekend I will be doing. I will be doing my my Max Fleischer suit, and then I'll be doing the traditional Superman suit as well. So again, it's. again, it's one of them things that because we've got, I know one day will be for Jim, me wearing that for Jim. So
If you can't make it, we'll be there in spirit. So
yeah.
it's hard.
Jim meant a lot. Jim's one of the, I met Jim. Holy cow. Adrian's what, 27?
Mm-hmm.
I met Jim 27 years ago.
Oh wow.
I met Jim. The Superman Museum opened in '93. He's 26. So it was October of '99. The museum opened in '93. I met Jim in '99.
That was back before you started going.
That was back before.
You didn't even know that.
I had
there was
no
a
idea.
Metropolis Superman celebration.
I had no idea there was Metropolis Celebration. Jess found the statue. I've always been a big Superman fan.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've always loved comics.
Mm-hmm.
And so 1 year for our wedding anniversary, Jess was pregnant with Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
The year Jess was pregnant with Adrian, again, 99. Literally the weekend of our wedding anniversary. So like 3-4 weeks, less than 4 weeks before Adrian was born.
Mm-hmm.
We go down. She surprises me with a trip to Metropolis in October.
Right.
So again,
There's nothing
yeah.
Superman celebration going on.
Right. So hold on. I will do this real quick. It's my first Superman figure from the museum. I bought it that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That one there. And see, that is the long-haired, that is not a mullet. That is a long-haired Superman.
I hate to tell you this, but in the front, it looks like business in the front.
And
Party in the back.
it's combed
It's a
over. It's combed over and brushed back. That is not a mullet. And so,
But how am I going to give you grief if you won't?
so that
Just
and
acknowledge
then,
it's
and
a
then
mullet.
the book, and then I got the book, the death, and then I have the hardback book of the death and return of Superman. Over in my Superman collection over there.
So
Again,
why did they give him long hair?
because he was in the regeneration chamber after the
And he
death,
didn't get a haircut.
and he
while
didn't
in
get
there.
a haircut.
All right.
So again, it's not a mullet. It's long hair. It's not like Cowlex walked over and goes, "Oh, well, I can only cut the top of your hair. I'm leaving the back of it alone."
Mm.
They just he was encased in basically a pod,
Right.
soaking up solar radiation.
Right.
So that's all it was. It had nothing to do with him getting. Oh well, guess what? I'm making a mullet. Yeah. No, it was
What was funny was when he did come back. Of course, he was like, "Crap! How are we going to make it where Clark Kent comes back too?" So they got a picture of Superman next to Clark Kent, and it turns out Clark Kent was actually Supergirl
because she could.
because she could morph her.
Now you
features.
know because of her alien. Now you know
Alien
Superman
back.
could actually do that too.
He can split his atoms and become two.
No,
He's done that. In
He's
the
done.
show.
He's also done that in the comic book. Yeah, that's where we got the Superman Red and Superman Blue.
Right.
But in the comic books, he has also grown hair. He has also changed his full features and completely disguised himself by vibrating his molecules and changing his full body structure. into
That is true. He has done that too,
into a fully different person.
Right.
Hence the reason. And for those that don't understand this, the glasses do work. I was actually at the doctor's office today over my foot because my right foot's starting to give me issues like my left foot did. Granted, we're all good. I can get back in the gym, so I love it. But I'm sitting there in the doctor's chair waiting on the doctor to come in. Nurse is sitting there, and she turns around and she keeps staring at me. And while we're doing stuff, I'm answering her questions, and she's, you look familiar. Got my glasses on. No. It's like, you do. You look familiar. Where do I know you from? You look really familiar. I don't know. It's like I've worked for the sheriff's office for almost 25 years. No, that's not it. You look real familiar. And I'm doing a little bit over a 5 o'clock shadow.
Right.
Okay. And she just keeps looking at me. And so I take my glasses off, and she just looks at me. And she's still, and I'm in uniform.
Right.
So she's still looking at me, and I'm like, I'm Superman. Oh my God, she almost drops the pen. And she, oh my God, my kids have got pictures. They've got a picture of me with her kids and nephews
Right.
at her house.
Right.
And she didn't recognize me with my glasses on.
Mm-hmm.
The glasses work.
Mm-hmm.
So again, and they're not alien technology like it's in the movies or in the comics, because there is a deal in the comics, for those that don't know, that the reason why that you don't, that people can't recognize Superman is, number one, he almost does a Flash thing. Because, he vibrates his molecules, the molecules of his body just enough to distort himself to where on top of that, he does, on top of that, parts his hair the other direction and slumps a little bit. But he also vibrates his molecules just enough to throw off his features. That way he doesn't look like Superman. And because of the glasses are actually made, or back in the earlier comics,
Silver Age.
Yeah, they described his comics as glasses as being made from part of his ship.
Yeah, the windshield of a ship.
Yeah, the windshield of a ship, and the not just the windshield, but also part of the metal. That's where they got the frames from. The frames were made out of the metal, and then the lenses were made from the glass from the windshield. The lenses,
which allowed him to direct his heat vision through it because it was Kryptonian materials.
And so that was also and it harmless. That, and on top of that, they only used it in one movie, but he used it in the comic books. But a hypnotic, Superman also has a hypnotic power. Granted, in the movies, he uses it when he kisses Lois Lane in the movie, Margot Kidder,
Right.
Lois Lane in the movies. But in the comics, he actually could do that.
Plus,
just
there's also
vision and speaking wise.
There's also this theory
or
that
mentally.
he has a biofield around him, so that now back in the 90s it wasn't so evident because his cape always seemed to get shredded. But now they talk about how can he get slammed into the side of a mountain and he gets
And
up
it doesn't
his cape
tear
doesn't
up his,
tear.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, there's a biofield around his body. That's why
And it's
bullets bounce off
that-
instead of
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's more, and it's not necessarily the cape, because as you notice, a lot of times you see the cape get tattered and not the costume.
right.
So it's more of the suit
Right.
that is encased in that,
Right.
not the cape, because because the cape does the.
Somebody had posited that the biofield also aids in helping to kind of
mask him.
mask him a little
Um,
bit. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. So that's also and
And
you got to remember something. Metropolis is supposed to be a city of like 9-10 million people.
Uh-huh.
It's like New York, okay?
Right.
So you're talking about everybody's looking up in the sky looking for Superman. They don't expect him to be
No.
down on the ground walking in among them.
Look at him. Look at what Henry Cavill did.
Right.
You know,
He went to Times
he
Square.
went to Times Square, no glasses, wearing a Superman shirt, taking a photo of himself, and was getting yelled at for people because they thought he was just standing in front of
Well,
the
he was
Superman
wearing,
marquee.
he was wearing the glasses when he took the picture of himself,
as Superman battling Batman.
and everybody was yelling at it.
And to quit taking
Quit taking
photos, and
and get out of their way and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And then he went like this,
and
then
they
he went,
still did no. They
And then-
never recognized him. His story is nobody ever recognized him. I mean, people were rude at him at the entrance of the subway. Nobody recognized
until
him.
he pointed it out.
Yeah.
That's me.
But
And
I
then
mean,
they-
it's
then
just
they're
like,
Oh crap! It is you.
Yeah.
And then
So-
then he was popular.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was.
Yeah. So
So again, you know,
yeah,
the-
it works. Well,
Yeah.
that's like what Batman said in the comic books. He said, "All it takes is one memorable, distracting
Mhm.
detail." Okay, he's gone out looking like Bruce Wayne, but he'll put a scar on his face. You know, okay. Bruce Wayne doesn't have a scar. That guy, he looks a lot like Bruce Wayne, but he's got a scar, so it can't be Bruce Wayne.
right.
Okay, one memorable, distracting detail. Pair of glasses, you slump a little bit,
Comb the hair the wrong way.
comb the
and-
hair the wrong way, talk a little softer. Yeah, and
Bumble.
bumble,
Yeah.
you know, and yeah, it's going to throw people off. People are not going to expect a God to be walking among them.
No.
They're not expecting it.
So yeah,
It's actually quite believable. You know, if he lived in Smallville, you know, which is a smaller town,
yeah.
and you know he did this, yeah, eventually,
You
somebody
know,
will go,
well,
"Hey,"
like
you know.
what happened in the Lois Superman and Lois TV
Right.
show with Tyler Hoechlin.
Right.
You know, it took a while, but you know, it took toward the at
Toward the end
closer
of their
toward
show to run, yeah,
Yeah. everybody was finally it
dawned on him.
it dawned on them. Actually, it was a little bit before that. It was actually when Doomsday Kid at the end of season 4 was when Lois and the kids, when Superman was getting pummeled by Doomsday, and they did the death of Superman in at the end of season 4. When the town was like, why is Lois screaming and weeping and everything over? Who is it?
Oh, Jeff posted something. It shows Batman and Superman. They're lying in a field looking up at the stars. And Batman says, "Do you believe aliens exist?" And then he looks over at Superman. Superman looks back over at Batman and goes, "Are you an idiot?"
But leave it to Jeff.
Yeah.
We love you, Jeff.
Yeah.
But you know,
Bubba will have to kill you.
yeah. But you know, it's one of them things that then it was then the town was realizing, why is Lois and the kid and Jonathan and John Jordan and John yelling and crying and screaming and caressing Superman? Where's Clark?
Right.
And it was like, oh my God, that yeah. And then it started circling around town, because by the time season 5 starts, Jonathan and Jordan are now talks of the town, because they realize that that's Superman's kids,
Right.
and then but then all of a sudden, then no, we're not. Yeah, you are. We see what you do, and then,
Well, like in Man of Steel, remember Zod comes down. They're tearing Smallville.
right.
Okay, and they basically destroy the IHOP. Okay, Pete Ross
Knew exactly who it was.
knows exactly who it was. I guarantee you, probably half the town,
Yeah.
when he was like, clear the streets, get somewhere safe.
Yeah.
They
Well,
probably
see-
knew it was Clark.
Well, see,
Come on.
now in the comic book, they did that. They've done that multiple times in the comic book on Superman ousting himself as Clark Kent, or Clark Kent as Superman.
Mhm.
But I loved what they did, when they did it, and it lasted for numerous runs, until they rebooted Superman.
Mhm.
And it was right after the Superman and the Authority comic book. Superman comes back, And that right there, the Superman #1, when they relaunched it, is probably one of my favorite. I'd say it ranks up there within the top 5 favorite Clark or Superman Luthor battles.
Mm-hmm.
Because the comic book starts out with, Luthor capturing Manchester Black.
Mm-hmm.
And Luthor takes, and Superman's out saving the world, I think in India, helping helping rebuild a dam because it's about ready to crush a town. Superboy John goes, "Hey, Mom, where's Dad? Oh, well, he's doing this. Oh, I'll go see if he needs help. Okay, make sure you're back. Perry's come on over for dinner," and they're out at the Kent farm.
Right.
So they're getting ready to have like a family reunion type deal.
Mm-hmm.
And Jonathan flies out, helps, Superman, helps Clark, and as all of this is going on, Luthor is back at a secret hideout, or actually Luthor Corps, going, with Manchester Black in a contraption, and then basically goes, as they're taunting each other, Manchester Black gives Luthor the ultimate taunt as, basically looks at Luthor and goes, "Oh, what do you got?" Looks at Luthor and goes, "You know what? So, here
Chuck
you."
Cochran's going,
Oh, hey, Chuck. Here's Luthor going, Superman this, Superman that, and all this stuff about Superman. But then you have Manchester Black and his cocky, arrogant, self strapped to this machine like he's getting ready to get drawn and quartered and tortured. Looks at Luthor, he goes, "Hey, you want to know a secret? It's about Superman." He's like, "What?" He goes, "Superman didn't think twice about you."
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "Here you are, you've got all this money, all this power, and all this time, and you waste it on Superman when you could be doing something good. And Superman is out here doing all of this good and doesn't give you a second thought."
Which pissed him off.
And pisses Luthor off. And then Luthor flips the switch and lobotomizes pretty much the globe.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he does it is he puts it into, he makes it to where when Manchester Black lobotomizes the globe, other than a few like Jonathan,
Language.
Lois. What'd I say?
Both of you.
The P word. The P word.
The P word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I said it.
All right. He got angry. Let's put it.
Okay, he got angry.
Okay.
Okay. So, I'm getting yelled at. I'm about ready to get phone forgered.
Yes. We've lost our Mongolian.
We got lost our Mongolian beef for another month.
Yes.
But as he is, as he's lobotomizing Manchester Black, he wipes the world of all of their memory that Clark is Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And if they realize that they're that they're one and the same, they basically go into a deadly brain aneurysm and die.
Mm-hmm.
That is what Luthor gives the world by killing Manchester Black. It's in Superman 1. So what you have is they save India in this Indonesian town.
Mm-hmm.
They fly back home. Well, as they're flying back home, high five, son and dad are high fiving. Hey, we did it, blah, blah, blah. They fly back in. And when they get to the house, Perry pulls up has a bottle of wine. Hey guys, how are you doing? About that time, he turns around. Superman and Superboy fly in. He hugs Lois, puts his arm around Perry. Hey Perry, how are you? And Perry goes, You're Clark? And then drops.
Mm-hmm.
Superman rushes into the hospital. They find out what's going on. And then all of a sudden, he flies off to Luthor. What did you do?
Mm-hmm.
And then Luthor starts antagonizing Superman about what he did to Manchester Black, about torturing and killing Manchester Black, and lobotomizing the secret to the world, and what happens if the world realizes Superman is Clark Kent. So ends up being a massive fight. Lex jumps into his mechanical suit. They end up on the moon, then out in the middle of outer space.
Mm-hmm.
And as Superman's getting ready to punch him, Luthor goes doot, 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 and blasts Superman into like multi-light years away.
Okay.
I mean, and you can see the arrogant Luthor going, yeah, it's going to take him forever to get back. And as he's getting ready to do his little jetpack back down to Earth, you see this little flicker of a star, or what looks like a star, in the background. And then next thing you know, Superman standing in front of him, literally standing in front of him going, yeah, that's not going to happen again. And reaches up, grabs a hold of him, and by just grabbing a hold of Luthor, he explodes his mechanical suit except for the helmet that's keeping him alive in the vacuum of space, and basically tells him that and he's like, well, how did you do that? You did this in like nanoseconds.
Right.
Pretty much blasting Flash basically disproving Flash being the fastest man alive. I mean, because again, Luthor's just like, that's impossible. How did you do this?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, faster than that, he was right back in front of me. I mean, hundreds of light years, hundreds of dimensions away, and he made it back to him in nanoseconds.
Well,
and then destroyed Luthor and then put him in prison.
Because I was looking at this one comic, and Jimmy uses a signal watch.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And all of a sudden, there he is. And he's like, sorry, it took me so long. I was on, Rigel 4 dealing with the thing there. And he's like, wait a minute, isn't that like 400 million light years away? And he's like, yeah. And he's like,
mm-hmm.
So when you put physics to it, the guy had to travel faster than the speed of light to make it in just a second.
Yeah.
To travel millions of light years. Okay. That lets you know he's faster than a tachyon.
Yeah,
Tachyons are the only thing that's faster than the speed of light.
Yeah.
And so
I'm sorry, the age-old question, who's faster, Flash or Superman? I'm going with. I have to go with Superman.
I know you do, but
I know everybody's like, well, the Speed Force, and here's this. Well, and here is my here's my argument about that. Okay, or not really my argument, but
Chuck goes, wait, Clark is Superman?
Yeah, no brain aneurysm, please. But here is my theory on it. Okay, now.
Remember,
yes,
this is a theory, folks.
Yes. Now, and this is again 40 years of reading comics.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the Flash. Okay, you have the Speed Force. You have the Flash rewriting reality. You've got all these amazing feats that the Flash has done. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Superman has also done it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Here is the reason why I say the Flash is not as fast as Superman. Okay. The Flash. And it's happened multiple times in the comic books. The Flash. The reason why and again, it's Flash. The Flash goes as fast. It has been proven that the Flash goes as fast as he's going. The Speed Force, which is the fastest thing in the DC comic world, right? The Speed Force kills Flash every single time, and he rewrites history. Superman outruns the Speed Force. It is proven because Superman has done that in the Superman's physics has ran alongside Flash in the Speed Force and has surpassed it. That is in the comic
Now,
books.
you wanna hear-
It is canon.
You want to know something that's even funnier?
Huh.
Okay, Flash is in the Speed Force, right? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Superman has caught up to him in the Speed Force.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's another character that has, and not Supergirl,
Right.
another character has, like Superman, has shattered reality, has
Mhm.
traveled through time, has caught up to Barry in the Speed Force and left him in the dust, has been to the Hand of Destiny,
Right.
the crisis.
Yes.
You know, okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Okay. One character has done that
Okay.
besides Superman.
Yes.
Green Lantern.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So the difference is
All Green
Superman
Lantern-
doesn't need a ring to do it.
That's where I was
Okay.
going.
Okay. here's what you need to remember. If Superman flies,
Uh-huh.
he's fast.
Okay.
Okay. And he's a good fighter.
Well, yes.
He's very smart.
Yes.
He can swim very fast. He's got all of these gifts. The best way to handle it is that he's a master of all trades.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But there are people that are you take
yeah.
one of his traits, there is somebody out
They
there
can do it
that
better.
can do
Yes.
it better.
All right, look
Okay.
at Batman. I mean, for instance, hand-to-hand combat.
Right.
You know, Batman is a better hand-to-hand, no powers,
Right.
just straight up skill. Hand-to-hand combat, no powers.
Right.
Batman all day long.
Right.
Because of Batman's. Now, you give, but
Martian Manhunter can change his shape. So can Superman. But
exactly.
Martian Manhunter does it faster. He can
Martian
turn
Manhunter,
intangible-
right?
intangible.
Martian Manhunter can do it. Can do it
Aquaman
all.
can swim faster.
Right. But again, you know, and also there's all. But again, Superman has always said this. And matter of fact, it was in one of the races. You know, it was one of those things. It was like, I don't need to win.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't remember which comic book it was, but it was one of the Action Comics or Justice League books, and he was. They asked Superman the question of, "You're a god. You can do everything, probably 10 times better than all of your colleagues.
Mhm.
Why do you need them?" And, you know, it's one of them things that he's humble. He says, he humbles it down. I don't remember the exact words that he says, but it's basically is like, why do I need to, I don't need to be better than him. I'm not better than him or her, or it's
Right.
not about that. It's about saving the people that were out
You know, it's about saving
Right.
and doing the right thing. You know, it's not that, hey, I'm better than Batman. It's, you know, why did you let Batman beat you? Or why didn't you beat? Because I didn't need to beat him. Well, what do you mean? That's just it. I didn't need to beat him.
Well, even
You know,
like if you
because-
watch the Justice League cartoon, okay,
Mm-hmm.
when
That's a bad example. I hate to say that. It's a bad example.
They kind of dumbed him down a little bit due to remember the animated series,
Uh-huh.
Superman animated series. They started him out weaker, like he was in the comic books.
Right.
Okay, and he's getting stronger as he goes.
As he goes.
Okay.
But he still wasn't the full. But if you go by what he was in the comics at that time, by what he was in the comics to what he was in the animated series,
Right.
he still wasn't as strong as what he was in the comic books.
Right. So here's the thing. When they asked, or he told them when they finally decided to put the watchtower up in the sky and all this stuff, he was like, I thought I could do it all, but I can't.
Right.
He even Flash touched on it. He said, hey, the guy is awesome and he's fast, but he can't be two places at once.
Right.
Yeah.
And he realizes this.
and right. And see, that's the thing I like about it. You know, the best way to put it is if you look at Superman, you know, it's funny because everybody turns around and goes, well, Clark Kent is who he is and Superman's the disguise.
Right.
No, it's the other way around.
You sure?
Yes. Because Kal-El Superman is who he is.
Mhm.
Actually, they're one and the same because you can't have one without the other.
Right.
Unlike Batman. Batman is, and we've had this talk.
Batman is Batman.
Batman is Batman.
Bruce Wayne
is the alter ego.
disguise. Yeah.
Because, you know, and they've changed that, you know, yeah, but because, and here's why I say that, okay, with his Superman or Clark or Kal-El or however you want to put it, walking down the street, every step he takes, every move he makes. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm not doing
Batman's watching it.
Yes, Batman's watching you. But every move he makes, whether it be shaking a hand, whether it be taking a step, sneezing, coughing, clapping, any bodily movement that he does,
Mhm.
he's a hair away from destroying the world.
Mhm.
Okay. So, and this is the reason why I say Clark Kent is the disguise. When he becomes an adult, Clark Kent is the disguise, not Superman or Kal-El. Because everything he does, he has to make sure he puts the right type of pressure. But again, this also goes with him learning how to do this since depending on what lore you read as an adolescent, on how to hit a typewriter or a keyboard at the right amount of pressure. That way he doesn't shatter it to a million pieces. Take a step without putting his foot through the ground or making a crater while he's walking, or let alone lofting himself up into the air because his mind is elsewhere thinking about something.
Mhm.
Shaking somebody's hand and not crushing it to
Right.
rubble or sand. You know, everything he's doing,
Right.
he has to. So Superman is he is Superman. He is Kal-El. At the adult stage in his life, it flips. While he is Clark, that is more of his adolescent spot. But once he starts gaining the power and becoming Superboy,
Well,
that is where he changes that persona
They
to
touched on
his
this,
real life.
They touched on this in Smallville. Remember, he wanted to play football.
Right.
His dad's like, you do that, you're gonna break bones, and you're you're going to kill people. You know, you're going to have to dumb yourself down
Yeah.
when you go through the crowd with your football, and you're going to have
So,
to act
yeah.
like you get hit and knocked down. You're going to have to. So why even do it if you're going to do that? You're going to have to fake getting tackled. You're going to have to fake all of that stuff.
You're going to have to fake getting
It's-
hurt a whole 9 yards. Yeah.
You can't just cut loose like that.
Right.
And,
See, and that's one thing I liked about they did toward the end of the animated series, the Superman animated series. Since we're talking about that, you know,
Right.
since you know,
he said this is one of those rare times where I really get to cut loose. I'm used to walking in a world of cardboard
or cardboard and a paper bag.
and a paper bag, and I can destroy everything. But you can take it, big man, can't you?
And then unload.
Unload.
And the thing is,
They hit
here's
each
the
other
thing.
so hard that sound waves come out.
And here's
destroy
the thing,
buildings.
you know, and here's the thing. A lot of people look at this. Darkseid is, besides Doomsday,
Mhm.
Darkseid is is in like the top 5 strongest forces in the DC universe.
Yeah, exactly.
And
But he's
is
a new god.
right. And is like the top 2 strongest foes that literally can actually beat Superman.
Yes.
But here's the thing. You know, everybody thinks that, well, Superman's not intelligent, Superman's not this, he's all dumb because of strength, he's this and that.
No.
What a lot of people don't realize, and it does, and I wish they would touch on it more in the comic books. And because again, and I guess it gives the thing of a lot of it gives the thing of, you know, it takes away from Batman on this. And you know, it's one of them because they picture Batman as the world's greatest detective. He's the smartest Justice League member. He's this, that, and the other. What a lot of people don't realize, though, is Superman's intelligence. They don't hone in on Superman's intelligence. They write him as being the Boy Scout,
The Kansas Farm
the
Boy.
Kansas Farm Boy. They write him as being the dumb newspaper jock that has to go out and get the story, and that's all he knows. They don't write him as being a galactic. I may be making up a word here, so bear with me. On a galactic level intellect. And I may just have made a new category of brain power. But you got to figure, he is, you know, because of not only what he had from, he's got the world of Krypton, which was light years in advance to what Earth was.
Right.
Okay,
Well,
what Earth is.
See,
And he has all of that technology, all of that knowledge at the palm of his hand. And all he's got to do is walk in. All he has to do is walk in, just like Batman. Batman, he's got to go to a computer and go, well, I got to find this. I got to find this. Superman, literally, all he had, because that computer is ingrained into the earth. Okay. Not only that, but the alien technology that he has in the Batcave is also connected to everything in the world. So all he's got to do is walk into the Batcave, or not Batcave, but all he's got to do is walk into the Fortress of Solitude and go, computer, I need this. Not going, walk into and go, computer, I need to know where this is at.
to give you enough.
Batman, Joker is standing right behind you, punching. Thank you. Good night. Click. Literally, that is. But they don't do that with Superman.
Here's what you need. Here's what you need to realize, and they even touched on this in the Marvel movies. Okay.
Yes.
I'm getting calls. Hold on. Okay.
Okay.
Is he in trouble?
Mm-hmm.
What the? What? Dude. Okay, but anyway, they touched on this in the Marvel movies. That in Endgame, Tony Stark is walking up to the quantum accelerator or whatever you want.
Right.
Okay. And he's picking on Rocket. He says, "You about done, Ratchet?" And he goes, "Slow down. You're just a genius on Earth."
Right.
Right? See? That's the thing. Tony Stark never figured out how to cross the universe in milliseconds like Captain Marvel can.
Right.
Okay.
But here's the thing, though. Going back to but again, right now we're flipping streams.
Right.
Okay. But again, you're looking at Batman. Okay, and here's where it goes. They all rely on Batman to go, hey, we need to get a rocket from here to this Earth, to this world over here, because there's and instead Superman goes, hey, here's the technology that you need, because Superman has already got it, but they don't touch on that. Superman, again.
Here's the thing. Things get built, requires money. He don't have it. Not a reporter salary.
He's got it in the fortress. The fortress can make it.
Not always.
But again, that's what I'm talking.
I mean,
but
he's got access to like Phantom Zone projectors and alien technology.
He's got. But again, he's got light years of civilization. Because again, if you go by what they say, Krypton is a more mature Earth or planet than what Earth is. Almost, the reason why Superman the reason why Superman develops his powers on Earth is because it's a young Earth. It has all of the atmosphere, everything that is enriched in the Earth.
Right.
In Earth is multiplied hundreds of thousands of years when you go to Krypton.
Right.
So again, that's the reason why Superman can do everything he does. And Krypton knows about this alien race, this alien. They already know, and all that technology was transferred from Krypton. And yes, I know you already know this, to Earth. So Superman already has all the technology, all of the know-how, everything that anybody really needs, but they don't.
But I do want to point out something here.
And I'm cool, and it's cool that they're all, hey, but again, I wish they would touch a little bit on just how advanced.
But you need to also remember this, and this has been seen in the various media.
Okay.
With Batman, okay? When he first met Martian Manhunter,
Right.
okay?
Who, Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Okay.
Okay. Superman goes, this is John Jones. And then Batman goes, he's a Martian. He goes, how'd you know that? He goes, I've traveled all over the world. I've studied ancient manuscripts. I've looked at everything. He goes, this guy's a Martian. I know he's a Martian. Okay. I know. I knew you were something more. I could figure out where you came from. I already figured that out because, I study history. I've got a photographic memory. I've got this.
Well, he didn't know he was from a different planet. He knew there was something off. He did
When
not
he was a
pinpoint.
kid, yeah, there was a story where they were going through Kansas and got a flat tire in the limo, so Alfred was changing it
Mhm.
and met Clark, and he was like, "There's something off about you."
But he couldn't put his finger
Couldn't
on
put
it.
his finger on it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know. I've read that story.
Right.
Yes.
So
It
anyway.
wasn't until later, and it was like, and then it was finally because again, nobody knew. Even Batman, even with all his technology, didn't realize, didn't know Superman's history until Superman let it out.
That's why it drives me nuts in the Superman movies. Like for instance, in Superman the movie,
Right.
Lex Luthor has kryptonite. Okay, fine. They throw it down the drain. Or Miss Tessmacher.
Right, right.
Okay. The second movie, they've got Zod, Ursa, and Nott.
Right.
Why didn't he get down in that drain
And get the kryptonite.
get the kryptonite? He could have waltzed in there
And went,
and went,
yes.
You
One-
all are my little posse here now. You gonna do
Oh,
what I tell you to?"
100%.
He could have done it. Why? If he's so smart, why didn't he do that? Or it's like when he's telling Lois on the yacht, he's saying, they're not making any more land, but I'm gonna make more land, and she's like, yeah, you think the people of the world are going to stop me? How are they going to? How are they going to stop me? I've got alien technology in the palm of my hand.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing: as smart as Lex is, you think that
He was
you think
unfortunately.
Aquaman wouldn't have anything to say about something growing up in his
Oh,
ocean?
100%.
or
right.
Wonder Woman, hey, what is this that's throwing off all the tides and all this stuff?
Oh, 100%. Yes.
And Batman would
What do
be,
we got? What do we got?
wait, the last thing.
Oh, wait, is Clark a Superman? Yeah.
Yeah. You think Batman's not going to be like, hey, something weird's going on in the ocean. Maybe I need to get hold of other people and let them know what's going on.
But again, like I said, but again, I just wish they would, with as highly highly technological advancement, I guess, and I probably butchered that like crazy, that Superman's Fortress of Solitude is.
Mhm.
It's not utilized
Well,
to its full.
there's
it's
a
not-
reason for that.
I know, because it's Superman's solitude. yes.
if you make it where Superman just can waltz in and fix everything, all
it
the
would have
time,
already been done. Right.
He's boring then. Then he becomes boring.
But
They've got to
again,
give him a challenge.
but
That's why they
again-
invented kryptonite for the radio show.
But
So
again, here's my thing. And and I understand that part, but every time you see, but when they go into it, it's Superman's doing this or Superman's doing that. I think in the later comic books, Batman's got a hidden base on the moon, a bat cave on the moon.
Right.
It's just like, okay, yeah. Superman looks at him. But Superman's fortress has gotten demolished numerous times and reformed, or somebody's broken in and stole technology, and still nobody is any wiser. Which is, because he's got alien technology, light years, he's got knowledge. And this is what I'm saying. Every once in a while, you'll have a story pop up about, where's this alien tech? For instance, Mannheim.
Mhm.
Where does he get all his technology from? Darkseid.
Right.
Everybody knows where the fortress is at.
Mm-hmm.
They get in there and they get a piece. Oh, crypto's in there
They
to
can't
run
lift
them
the
off.
key to get in the door, though.
But Luthor can get in with no problem.
Yeah, that's because he's the smartest human.
But again, they all join up. Hey, we need to, but again, here's the thing. But again, it goes back to, Krypton, his fortress has been, there has been so many people in and out of that fortress. Amanda Waller has gotten into his fortress
Right.
and destroyed it in absolute power
Mm-hmm.
and does not take advantage. Here is an alien or a task force
Mm-hmm.
that is all about taking out metahumans. In between the Fortress of Solitude and the Batcave, which are completely obliterated in Absolute Power storyline. Hardly one piece of evidence, technology, or equipment is taken out of either of them to help her gain advantage of any metahuman. Why? That is the perfect, but again, that is a perfect story.
Right.
Batman goes to, Batman has a killing robot. If he goes ape and starts turning bad, he has a robot basically with the powers, simulated powers of all the Justice League members to take him out. And basically, a piece of Batman's mind is what's controlling it to where it knows Batman's every single move.
Are you talking about Brother Eye?
No.
OMAC.
Yes. I'm talking about his bat robot
Okay.
that he has in there that is brought into comic. Matter of fact, Amanda Waller takes control of it.
Mm-hmm.
Superman. Now, this is one thing I did like about Absolute Power. I mean,
It's not. Well,
it's almost 9.
Yeah.
This is one thing I liked about Absolute Power. And now this one here, we were talking about Superman's technology.
Mm-hmm.
This goes to Superman. Because Batman's stuff was taken and they all met in the Fortress of Solitude. That's where they all teamed up and that's where they all regrouped after they escaped Amanda Waller. And with whatever superpowered and non-superpowered were, and this is after she depowered Superman, Wonder Woman, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
This is where Superman tacked everybody out because of stuff that the Fortress made for them. All the way back down to Batman's purple gloves.
Yes.
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 But that was Superman that did that,
Mm-hmm.
not Batman. Because so again, Superman's got the technology. Superman's got the know-how. But they dumb him down to give it to Batman.
Yeah.
Because again,
See, here's the thing. Batman has one superpower that nobody can get past. Or
Batman.
No, it's more than that. That's a pain.
That's the car. Chicks dig the car.
No, he has something that whenever he goes up against anybody, including Superman, he always ends up winning. And that's plot armor.
And I'll say it as I've said it again, and Henry Cavill can vouch for it. If he wanted it, he'd be dead already.
Right. Right.
Again, that right there sums up Superman. And if Superman would go bad, regardless of plot armor or Speed Force, Lasso of Truth, the Martian Manhunter's mind control, magic, because we've also witnessed Superman can outdo magic, and he has done it. Matter of fact, Batman was in the point of completely going mad because he couldn't figure it out. Superman literally slows himself. You figure this would have been Batman that did this.
Right.
Superman literally looks at Batman and tells Batman to shut up.
Mhm.
And Batman get like, what are you doing? What are you talking? You're talking. I'm trying to figure out how to get us out of here. I understand that, but shut up. And he's like, okay. And Superman's, hovering there, and he goes, there's another heartbeat. And then looks at Batman and goes, and I think it's Batman that does it. He looks at Batman and goes, to the left, 4 o'clock or something like that. And Batman shoots a batarang over there and basically knocks the guy out to pull Batman and Superman out of this magic dream world.
Mhm.
But it was Batman going, oh my God, I can't figure this out. I'm going, he's literally going ape because he can't get out of this.
Mhm.
And Superman's like, dude, shut up. Stop.
But now
Slow down.
You got to remember something about Batman, though. Okay, at the end of Justice League.
Okay.
Okay, Martha and Lois are putting boxes back in the house, and he goes, "How did you save the house?" He goes,
I bought the bank.
bank."
Right.
Okay. That's something that Clark really doesn't have.
He doesn't do that. No.
No. What's he going to do? Pull alien technology from the he could do that, but then that would.
But again, here's it right. But again, here's your thing though.
Right.
Batman uses money to get what he needs.
Right.
Superman. But again, all he'd have to do is look at Superman and go, Superman, I need your help. I need part of your technology to get this figured out.
Right.
Superman goes, here you go.
Right. You don't.
But it doesn't happen.
Don't you think that with the relationship they got, that they share
the Bat Fortress?
Hey, I'm wanting to do this with the Batcave. Is it possible that I can have virtual reality screens instead of an actual screen so that I can? Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
But they don't do it.
I wouldn't say that. Or if they do,
it's not out there.
It's not out there, and nobody knows for sure.
So again, it's just there's just so much. I think, and again, it's one of those things. I understand that when Superman was first started out, and again, then they still do this with the Fortress of Solitude,
right.
But they blend it now. They blend it more now. But when we had back in the inception of Superman, Krypton was this frosted ice, looks like basically a big ice planet, but made out of crystal. Okay, with technology.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the reason why we got the frozen tundra Fortress of Solitude.
Right.
Okay. Now, you fast forward to the 80s. 80s, early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, when Jim Burns and
right, a Man of Steel
right.
miniseries, yeah.
When you get the miniseries and even in the comic books, it went more to that more glorious, spacious, technological world, not that frozen wasteland that we were always recognized in the
Right.
earlier adaptations.
Right.
Then you get to Krypton, the TV series, and it blended both.
Right.
Man of Steel, it was more of that technological world, vast world like what we have here on Earth. So just more technically advanced.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, it's just I wish they would show a little bit more, instead of Superman being the dumb guy that all he does is fly around and use his fists.
Mhm.
give him a little bit more credit. You know, show him. Now they did show his fighting prowess when they did Superman Warworld,
Mhm.
where he
Yes.
killed Mongol,
Mhm.
you know, and basically became the ruler of Warworld.
Yeah.
You know, when they turned him Gladiator Superman under a red sun and basically made him fight without power,
Mhm.
was, you know, you got to see a rip down. This, you know, Superman can actually fight without plot armor, without, well, no, and I'm,
Yeah.
you know, it's not Batman going, okay, this is what this guy looks like. This is what this guy can do. This is literally, and Batman has done it too, because when they time warped him
Right.
throughout history.
Right.
But again, by that time, when that all happened, he had already known multiple forms of martial arts. So he was already skilled. You already knew he was skilled in 27 forms of martial arts, or 127 forms of martial arts, or
Right.
whatever it was at
Right.
that time.
Right.
You know, so he was already, when he was time warping and getting back to reality, getting back to current time, he already knew how to sword fight. He already knew how to do this. He already knew how to fight and adapt himself to these type of
Right.
eras that he was in.
Mhm.
Unlike Superman, anytime you ever seen Superman get into a fight, it wasn't a martial arts type of or blade fighting. It was punch them or kick them, or you know, you
Right.
fly into them and you know you're pushing them
Up
as
and down in space.
right. It was all that was about the consistent of his power. Even fighting Doomsday, it was brute strength. It wasn't nothing real. It was literally them getting out there and beating the holy Hades out of each other.
Mhm.
You know, there was no rhyme or reason of him. You know, he wasn't using jujitsu or martial arts or whatever it was to battle Doomsday. It was literally power blows to beat this monster. When he went to Warworld, you got to, and he was trained by Batman. He was, you know, they don't touch on Superman
Right.
being trained
But-
in martial arts by Batman, or going to Themyscira and being trained by Wonder Woman in the Amazons.
Right.
They don't touch on the multiple forms of fighting that Superman
But
knows.
here's what you got to remember.
But then in
Here's the
Warworld,
difference between Superman and Batman. Superman goes into a situation. If something out of left field hits him, you know, he's super speed. He can
he
think
thinks
it's
right.
and
He's super intelligent, and
he's
that's
super
another
intelligent,
thing.
and so he can come up with that solution to overcome
Right.
what he's facing. Whereas Batman will say, "Okay,
Stop,
what are-
analyze,
what are
and
all
then
the
execute.
things that could go wrong,
Right.
and how can I offset it with something in my belt, or you know, or a suit, or whatever?"
And people
And
don't
be
realize.
prepared
Right.
long before, you know, like he says, well, you know, he might
has
say,
a he
what
has
if I have, what if I,
a
what if I'm going-
contingency plan for everything.
right? What if I go up against Joker and Joker does this, and I end up flying toward the sun and need to get back to Earth? How am I going to do that?
I'm
Yeah,
going to
he's
use
even-
my cape and
Yeah,
use it.
he's like, I got a little button here in my belt, and okay, the face mask comes on.
Right.
Now I'm in outer space. I'm fine.
When I come back again, all I've got is my
So, you know,
speedo on.
If
Yeah.
he- so
yeah.
he's yeah, you know, he's
Yes, that happened in the comic books.
he's getting tossed around by you know, Metron or
Right.
Darkseid, and they throw him down to Earth, and he's and he still manages to get to the ground, and he's fine.
Right. And they've showed how he does that.
Right. See, that's the difference between the two of them.
But again, Superman, again, he thinks on the fly, and he can do that because he's that intelligent.
He's that intelligent.
But again, they still don't really. They do that in a fight. They don't do that in a normal setting. They wait until it's that fight time to show
Right.
Superman's intelligent. They don't show his intelligence out here. They let him sit back at the round table at the Justice League headquarters and go, "Hey, Batman, what do we do?"
Mhm. Well, like Dean Kane's Superman. Okay, I like that show for the simple reason they'd have some guy doing weird stuff, and then him and Lois would do an investigation,
Right.
and they would piece
Well,
things
it was
together.
more- it was
and they were like,
more- well,
okay, this is
but
why
the thing
this
is-
guy's able to do this. Now let's.
But here's the thing, though. The Adventures of Lois and Clark was of Lois and Clark. Superman was a secondary character.
Yes, I understand that. Lois and Clark were doing
So Lois and Clark were
they were
doing the detective work, and then when
and then when
stuff
they,
went into when it blew up into a mess, then Superman came in.
right, exactly. But that that's kind of like the Batman TV show. That was it was great for kids, but they were
I've got a bomb. I don't know how to do it. Pull the dang wick out. Oh, that's it.
He's selfless, he's brave, but he's also,
Yeah.
like that one time he comes up to Commissioner Gordon, he goes, "Hold on a second, sir," and he starts pulling on this wire, and here's Gordon, he's spinning around and around, and he's like, "How did you get bugged like this?" And he goes, "Well, when we put Joker in jail, he must have slipped it on me while I wasn't looking." And he's like, and he's still pulling on this cord. And I'm like, what
Yep.
the heck?
Or it's Batman walking in going, "Hi, I'm Batman," and then Bruce Wayne walking up and going, "Hi, I'm Bruce Wayne." It's like, wait a minute.
"Hello, Commissioner. This is Batman. Hold on. I've got somebody else on the line. It's Bruce Wayne. Hey, Commissioner. This is Bruce Wayne." Yeah, didn't even change his voice.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Thank God both of you are on the case." It's like, what the
Yeah.
heck?
Yeah. But
It's
no,
still
like I said, I just wish they would show a little bit more of,
Mhm.
case in point. I mean, the best one to look at when it comes to his intelligence and him, in the smarts. Well, and the smarts in the planning
Mhm.
that Superman has. We're talking about, executing a plan, having contingencies and stuff like that. Man.
Mhm.
Superman versus the Elite.
Mhm. That was
100%.
pretty smart. Yeah.
That right there, you want to talk about intelligence and, planning and pretty much, not just the lobotomy to Manchester Black.
Right.
Look at everything that he did. He literally let them beat him down. And, to the point of, yes, we won. And then all of a sudden, they thought they disintegrated Superman.
Right.
And then he picked them off
One by one.
until they go, "Oh my God, we've got to get out of here. Let's go back to Earth because we know he can't hurt us down there because he won't hurt us down there." Then when he gets down to Earth, he takes out the last one and then he's at Manchester Black. Manchester Black starts tearing up and ripping up, and Superman's in the middle of, they're literally battling at downtown Main Street in Metropolis.
Mhm.
Debris falling, and
Right.
it looks like everybody's getting crushed, and Manchester Black is going, "Oh my God, I can't believe! Look
You
at
went insane. What's
he went
going on?"
insane!" And then, and then he lobotomizes him,
Right.
and then he turns around, he goes, "No," he says, "Nobody's hurt." He says, "This is what could happen if I let loose."
Mhm.
And he goes, "Well, what about my men? You killed them." "No, I didn't.
No.
They're all safe at I think it was like Rikers Island or
Right.
something like that.
in a special cell.
And a special cells and stuff like that, which is where you're going. And nobody out here is hurt thanks to my friends. And his robots from the fortress
Mhm.
are the ones that, they literally saved while Superman's taking care of the Sinister Five, basically. Manchester Black and the Elite.
Mhm.
As everything's going on, his
robots are actually doing the collateral damage while Superman's doing, again, like you said, Manchester Black goes to hit him with one thing, and again, mind control.
Mhm.
Superman already has a contingency for what he's doing with what he's got to do with Manchester Black.
Mhm.
Already got a contingency for everybody that he's dealing with, and it wasn't one of those things. He didn't do it on the fly. He did a Batman thing per se, and he did all his research while he was dealing with them every day, going, "Hey, this is a new superhero group. I want to see what they're doing. Wait a minute, this isn't right." And then now, when they turn on him, Superman gets a little bit more,
Right.
and then takes them out because, puts them in their place. Not necessarily takes them out, but puts them in their place. So yeah, what time is it?
It's about 9:18.
9:18. Wow,
Yeah,
we went
we need to
over.
wrap it up.
Yeah,
It's been a
it's
while,
9:18.
but it's been a while since we've done a.
Right. So
But
we're
again,
gonna do
and
one,
again, the reason why we're talking Superman, and you'll probably get a little bit more of Superman, unfortunately, is because the new Superman movie comes out in less than 2 months. So it's going to be cool. I'll probably bring out. And yes, this is the X-Men mansion, Lego mansion. I've added extra Legos to it. Extra figures to it. I've got Morph, Juggernaut, the Blob, Jubilee, Beast, Mystique. It only comes with like 9 figures, and I've added probably about a good 4 or 5 extra into it. So I'm going to actually try getting the Brotherhood and the Brotherhood versus the X-Men. So I've got a few more I'm still looking for to add to it. So it's gonna be some fun. I'm going to have some fun with this. Jess is going to shoot me with it because I'm going to trying to turn it into a little cityscape, and I'm going to try to get something with like
You're gonna try to
Superman.
set up Marvel Universe.
No, it's going to be Worlds Collide. I'm going to have
Okay.
I want to see if I can't get like something with Superman over here, like off to the side. Maybe get like something for the Crow or RoboCop, and I'm going to build like a little city out of it.
I still like this. Magneto's on top there, trying to create havoc for everybody down there, and she's sneaking in from the side.
Yep. Well, and again, I'm looking at changing a few things. I'm going to make it to where Wolverine is jumping from the top of the top here to the back of the Sentinel, or maybe even from the front. I'm going to put Gambit looking like he's riding the motorcycle. Now, the way it's got it, other than a few of the extra. Oh, I've even got Bastion over here.
Mhm.
So instead of having, there's several of them that don't belong that I added to it.
Mhm.
And I'm going to, but for the most part, they're all in the correct positions that they're supposed to be in, according to what the, according to the manual.
You should have Wolverine making out with Jean, and Cyclops getting ticked off,
And blasting
and getting
Wolverine.
ready to blast
Oh, okay.
blast the meat off of his adamantium skeleton.
Right, okay. And Gambit and Rogue are somewhere in the X Mansion, and I have no
They're
idea.
getting it all in an upper room. And
But no, I'm looking at having a full.
You got a Deadpool in there.
No, I do not have a
Oh,
Deadpool.
you-
I want to get a Deadpool with a Deadpool X-Men in training.
Have him
And
have
have
him have him womping on Colossus and
But what I'm looking at, what I want to do is I want to turn it into something a lot larger, because I would like to put more grass out here, and like have the pool and a fountain out here in front, and have more stuff going on around it, and then off to the side make like a fence going around everything, and then having like the Daily Planet with Superman or stuff.
you
with
need
a few other
like a little
cities.
basketball court where you can slide it back and put and
There's the basketball. There's one of the basketball hoops right here.
right, but you need the basketball court, and then you can slide the
Yeah.
door back, and the jet comes
sets
out.
right
Yeah,
there, So yeah, I've got
Well,
some
I'm gonna
stuff.
shoot
Jess is
both of
probably
you.
going to shoot me about it,
Okay.
but yeah, it's
we
one
need
of
to
the-
wrap this up, guys. Just,
Yes.
So.
Again, Come hang out with us. Superman celebration. We've got Paul Fest coming up. Come out, hang out with us, and some poochies. It's going to be fun. Come out and hang out with us at the movie theater, and we'll have DC characters. Superman will be there for photo. All of our DC characters from Heroes for Kids will be there for photo ops before, during, and after the movie. You never know. We may even come in and watch the movie with you.
Or for you.
And then, yes. And then also check out, get tickets. They are available online. Heroes for Kids Comic-Con, July 19th and 20th. Please check out our Facebook page, our Instagram, and our YouTube page, all listed under Heroes for Kids Perryville Mo. And check out our Heroes for Kids Comic-Con page, which is heroesforkidscomiccon.org for all your updates, Comic-Con tickets. And if you would like to sponsor or know anybody that wants to sponsor, please put it in there. We have and 100% of the proceeds, once it's all of our
Overhead is
all the overhead is paid for, 100% of the proceeds goes to the Captain Dorn Foundation and the Perry County Community Task Force. Not only would we love to break our goal. Our goal,
wasn't 12,000.
No, our goal is, I think, either 7,000 or 8,000. I think.
Yeah.
Our record is over 12.
Right.
So I would love to be able to break it. I'd love to be able to break I'd love to be able to beat our goal, and I would love to be able to break our record. So, I mean, we've got some awesome guests this year. We got the talented Philo Barnhart, the man of many voices, Scott Ennis, and you can't say it anyway other than this, Jerry the King Lawler. So look forward to seeing everybody July 19th and 20th at the Perry Park Center. So on that note, Jess, do you have anything else? Look at you with your Green Lantern ring. Yeah.
Yes.
That doesn't give him power at all. Jess says no. Dennis, you got anything for us?
No, basically everything that you covered is everything that's covered. So,
again, we love you all. Thank you all. Thank you, everyone, for your support. Please keep following us. Buy your tickets. Let's have some fun at the Comic-Cons and see you out at our
getting in
events.
crunch time, guys. Let's make it.
Love you all.
Happen.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.